I love that. You saw me like push it.
I did.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, ladies, gentlemen?
Hello.
Ladies, gentlemen.
Welcome back.
Oh, man, it's Monday, so that means it's time for another episode of Grease and Grace.
I was like, no, it's not. It is when you're listening.
It is when you're listening
when
to
you're
this
listening,
thing.
it's Monday.
He lying.
Straight up lies.
Am I lying if you're listening to this right now and it's Monday, but I recorded it when it wasn't Monday?
I don't know. That's like an inception question.
That's an interesting thing to think about. Yeah.
Well, anyways,
my name is Jordan, and sitting across the table from me, as always, is
Miss Kim.
Miss Kim. Oh man, Kimberly.
Okay, there we go. I got it.
The topic.
Yep.
All right. So, if you're new here, welcome.
Welcome back to another episode of Grease and Grace.
Do you sing songs by yourself that you just make up like randomly?
All the time.
I did it the other day, and do you ever like sing a song and you think to yourself like, I should have wrote that down? That was a good one.
Yeah, it's because a lot of times I find out I figure out how to make it rhyme or like make it fit a beat, and I'm like, oh, that was good.
You know what? That's my one hit wonder right there. I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I sing a lot, especially when I'm frustrated.
Oh man, yeah.
I say if I'm frustrated for some reason, it comes out in a song. And
I had this song yesterday in the car, and I was talking about like your favorite room in the house. And it was so good. Like it was such a good song. And then John and I went for dinner the other night, and I tried to sing it back to her, and I butchered it. Oh, and she doesn't know because she wasn't in the car.
It was only one moment.
And she's like, "Dad, are you sure that's a good song?"
Kids are always there to humble you.
I'm like, yeah, well, I do. I think it was great. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm at that point in my life where I just look at her. You know, she just knows my disgust. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, we were driving home last night from church. Now you know when we're recording this, and that's not true. Maybe you don't. Like, you have no idea. And we weren't saying anything, and it was raining. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, sometimes I just like to sit and listen to the rain on the truck.
We're like, okay.
Like, all right,
Excuse me.
This is awkward for me because I need to have conversations, obviously, because I'm insecure about my identity. So
I every once in a while I have stuff like that, like especially when I only have one person, like one kid in the car, because at that point, like, there's no fighting that I have to like break up.
Nope.
And so what was I doing?
You like look over, you're like, how are you?
See, I'm not in the front seat yet. Like, no, I'm in the front seat.
Oh, they're not
like,
in the front seat.
Miles,
oh, wait till it happens.
They are not front seat kids yet.
Wait till it happens.
And
it's weird.
You
look over, you're like, what up, tiny human?
Every once in a while, like as a treat, I'm like, do you want to ride in the front seat? But like, I talk to them. I haven't, you know what, actually, this is a great, a week and a half ago, I think I might have said this to you, but a week and a half ago, in the morning, we have a very set routine.
Yeah,
and a week and a half ago, a friend was like, hey, I did talk to you about this. I have 3 teenagers, three kids.
Yeah.
And I
going to school.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to do with myself because I cannot handle silence. I can't handle it. I don't know what to do with it. As much as I want silence, I also am like,
hey, how are you?
Hi. Can you please?
Then you start singing your own songs, and then you're like, "Hey, that's a good one, isn't it?" And they just look at you.
So Miles, whenever or Owen, whenever they're in the car, I feel like I have to talk to them, but like
you don't. They don't care. Nobody cares.
That's so.
It's the worst thing ever. Anyway, all right, back to it. Hey, current events to pop culture to sometimes just a thing that we think needs to be discussed, like Christmas, which we'll get there. Yeah, we take a little bit of a unique point of view on all these. So what we do is every week we have a topic. We pick out that topic, and by we, I mean Kim picks out that topic. I will explain that topic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give you the greasy side of things and the graceful side of things. The greasy side is the things that just drive us nuts.
Yep.
And the graceful side of things is when we try to see the good in life.
We do.
You know what? Like,
I think this one will be really easy to find the graces.
That I don't know, because we are pretty far on the greasy side of things.
I think this one will be
We could call this podcast Grease and More Grease.
Just call it McDonald's then.
We're a fast food joint, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to. All right, Kim, cooking up topic today.
Oh, that was great. It's Thanksgiving.
Oh.
That's what we be talking about today.
Thanksgiving.
So, T-Gives is happening later on this week. Not the week that we're talking to you, but
we're like not in the mindset at all yet, and we're like, wait, hold on.
Well, and Miles' birthday is right around Thanksgiving.
Is it really?
And so, yeah, he was born on Thanksgiving, actually.
Huh.
And so there's always like this air of like birthday celebration, and he's still young, so like he wants to celebrate it still. So yeah, last year we had his first big birthday party.
Whoa.
It was legit. We had 10 kids. We took him to Sky Zone.
Oh man, why does everybody go Sky Zone? You just jumping up and down.
It's 10 boys.
Well,
what else are you gonna do?
That's true. Yeah, just let them rip through.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Like they had the time of their lives. Nobody broke any bones. It was great. Things were good.
All right, you want the breakdown then?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is super funny because a couple of years ago I was teaching a class and we were talking about Thanksgiving break.
Okay.
And there was an individual that was sitting at a table next to another individual, and this individual looked at them who was a foreign student and said, "What's Thanksgiving?" And I was like, "What?
What do you mean?"
So I was like, first of all, how do you not know what Thanksgiving is? And then the other student thought that Thanksgiving was like a worldwide holiday. So they're like, "Oh, what do you mean? There's like, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving?" And the student looked at him like, "No."
What's Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like
you need to answer that.
Like obviously not. So it's really funny. Like you should go out if you're listening to this. Just try this on anybody foreign. Just be like, "Hey, do you celebrate Thanksgiving in your country?" And if they say yes, like,
do they like celebrate different versions?
I'm sure there's different things like to it. Because okay, so here's like the shortened paragraph of what Thanksgiving is. Thanksgiving is a national holiday. When it's a national, that means like states, right?
In our nation.
Yeah. So some people, I guess, celebrate it in October, and some people celebrate it in November.
What?
I don't know what kind of psychopath.
In the United States?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of weirdo celebrates Thanksgiving in October. The only thing I can think about is they're so mad at Halloween that they're like, "We're going right to Thanksgiving."
Why would you celebrate it in October?
No clue.
What?
But what's really funny is Canada, St. Lucia, Liberia, and unofficially in countries like Brazil, Germany, and the Philippines, they also celebrate some form of Thanksgiving, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, how does Brazil, Germany, and the Philippines get that? Like, I don't know.
Weird.
It's also observed in the Dutch town of Leiden and the Australian territory of Norfolk Island. So the only thing I can think is like people like Brazil and Germany and the Philippines is like it's a day of gratitude. So they just celebrate like being thankful for things.
On the same time as us.
Yeah, like so maybe they just kind of like jumped in.
Well, I could understand Germany because so many people in the United States are of German descent. So like then
that would make sense, right? So like we were German,
yeah,
and then we went to the States. That's fair.
Yeah,
I could do that.
So, and then like if you're going back to visit, kind of a thing. Like I could see that one, but like Brazil,
yeah. So the Thanksgiving holiday's history in North America is rooted in English traditions dating from the Protestant Reformation. It has aspects of harvest festival, even though the harvest in New England occurs well before the late November date on which the modern Thanksgiving holiday is celebrated. So maybe people look at Thanksgiving in regards to like more what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with like fall. Like, we're just going to lump that in. October, November, it would be fall. December's Christmas.
Yeah.
January, February, March, April, May, June, and July in Indiana are winter.
So true. It's so true. We don't actually get summer until August.
It's changed, though, don't you think?
I know it has.
Oh, 100%. Because it used to be really cold. Like, I remember going to college because I'm not from Indiana. Mm-hmm. But when I went to school in Indiana, and when I was in Indiana, it was cold in, like, November, December. And now it's not.
It would big time snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same. I mean, like, I remember June used to be hot. June now is like spring. Like, it's a nice month.
Late July and August to me are hotter than June is.
They are.
Yeah.
And September is like scorching hot. This was part of our conversation as a family a while ago, because they're in September where we are. There's a big festival that takes place, and they always have like a bajillion different.
Oktoberfest?
No, it's a bajillion different like.
That's a great word. I wish more people would use that. Bajillion.
It's a sophisticated term.
It's a cook's term. How much salt should we put in this? Bajillion amounts.
But yeah, the tents, they always had like fall and winter stuff, and it always was super strange to me. Why is there fall and winter stuff when we are literally like sweating so much right now? Like, I'm not thinking about fall or winter. And like the conversation was, well, it used to be like when kids started school, it used to be cold in the morning.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I remember like we used to have days off because of snow in the middle of November, or more so December. And we don't have that anymore.
Did you know Abraham Lincoln formalized Thanksgiving?
I knew it was a president. I couldn't remember which one.
Yeah, in 1863.
So before then, do you think that they didn't?
Well, so if you go to Wikipedia and you do a little scroll
source of information right there.
Yeah.
So legitimate.
You know what? There's a lot of smart people out there. It will give you the breakdowns of how like Australia, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Liberia, the Netherlands, like why they celebrate it and all that stuff. But what's really interesting is the history of the states goes to like federal legislation by Congress in 1941 on the fourth Thursday in November.
Is that what makes it like you have a day off of work?
I would think so. Yeah. Which is why it's like, hey, we're going to observe this or whatever the case is. But we're not here to talk about Thanksgiving in regards to the greatness of it. We're here to talk about what frustrates us. So Kim, you're up, man. What is your biggest grease with Thanksgiving? I have a list, by the way.
Do you?
100%.
Did you just make a list?
As we were talking, I formulated a few thoughts.
Okay. All right. So my first grease is the lack of abilities in the kitchen, really.
Oh, the cook side of things. I didn't even think about this.
Yes. There's so many like faux pas that people have had to learn the hard way that like if you just ask like a knowledgeable person.
Should you bake a turkey, fry a turkey? What is your like go-to?
Well, so so here's my other grease. We're going straight into another grease. I have only made one Thanksgiving meal.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, does that bother you or not bother?
Yes, it bothers me. So and these kind of tie together.
If you want to make my family a Thanksgiving meal, I'll let you do.
I think I get to make it this year. I think I am the one in charge of it this year.
I could just see like my whole extended family being like, "Who's the girl in the kitchen?" I'd be like, "It's a Make-A-Wish kid."
She's lived to just have this moment preparing a
She's
meal.
an adult. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, some dreams come later on in life. So
you're a Make-A-Wish kid.
I'm gonna get a shirt. Only you and I will know what that means.
I got to make Thanksgiving dinner. Anyway, that's not funny at all. I'm sorry. It is though.
So it frustrates me because everybody gets so frazzled over Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
I'm not calculated I might be, but I'm not like calculated in a lot of things in the kitchen. Like I know what I am doing.
Yeah.
You will never see me more organized.
Yeah.
Than I am in a kitchen.
All the things that you fail at in life, you fulfill in the kitchen.
100%. Like that is how I know like I am in the right area of my job. Like, yeah. So all of these people like are making these plans and they're getting frazzled. Who is doing the mashed potatoes? Who is doing this? Who's doing the stuffing? Who's doing this? And it's like, it's overwhelming for most people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Just let me do it.
But do people feel like obligated to like let you breathe? They're like, oh, you cook all the time.
So
it's like the plumber fixing his own toilet.
I have multiple times gone to Josh's family, and they have a system.
Okay.
So like everybody brings everything. But like I'll ask like his mom, I'll be like, hey, so what can I bring? And there have been Thanksgivings where she's like, nothing. And I'm like, but I can.
You know, that's really funny. Like I was telling our small group leaders the other day, this is so true. I told them, I said, when you do a gathering, you should ask people to bring something. And our leaders were like, well, why? Like I said, because people like to feel like they're needed and they're wanted. Yeah. And I said, so when you ask somebody to bring something to a meal, you're asking them to be a part of whatever you have going on.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I see all the chaos and the conversations and the stress, and I'm like, I can do it, and I'm not going to be stressed out about it. And so, there's been quite a few Thanksgivings, especially with my in-laws, that they don't let me
That's crazy.
participate. And I think she's said specifically one time, like, I don't want you to be stressed. I'm like, but I'm not
stressed. Actually, stressed. I'd be less stressed if you would include me.
It stresses me out when everybody else is like moving around in the kitchen and there's nothing that I can do.
Do you feel though like people maybe are intimidated by you because like, oh, like Kim's doing the turkey and it's going to be good, so like my green beans will look like garbage? Yes,
because I have people who like when I had Owen, I remember people would bring meals to me and they're like, well, it's not chef quality. And I'm like, no.
At least you brought it.
That like, I'm happy that I'm not cooking that. Yeah. So like, I'm not a chef. Like there are so many times too. Like when
you're not like a 5-star chef.
Yeah.
Like you're not bad, but you're not like. But
even if I was, like the fact that
Gordon Ramsay's not asking you for recipes.
If Gordon Ramsay was like, come and make, that was
that was horrible. That was an epic fail. I don't even know. That was an American guy that like from out west.
So I ate lunch and there was a little something that happened right there. But come and make my Thanksgiving dinner. Maybe not. I'm sorry.
He's so mad right now.
Sorry, Gordon Ramsay. Oh, but anyways.
Unsubscribe.
So, yes, people will be like, oh, Kim is doing this. Like, I can't ever match that. And I'm like, but yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Because at home Kim and Chef Kim are two very totally different Kims.
Ate a tuna sandwich today. Like, you're welcome.
Like, I have had my fair share of fails. In fact, there was one year that I was like, please let me make the rolls. And I tried 3 times to make the rolls and they never worked for Josh's family.
That's funny.
I was like,
that's fantastic though.
Yeah. So like I want to make stuff, but it's not gonna be like chef quality. It's gonna have flavor.
That's funny because I have the same approach like when I go to people's houses or people come to my house because it's automatically assumed that I'm gonna pray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Pastor Jordan's gonna pray. And like here's what I do when people do that. I'm like, they're like, Jordan, would you like to pray? I'm like, yeah. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Amen. And like I love to just like let them down. And they're like, what did you just do? I'm like, you asked me to pray for the food and I said thank you for the food. Like, what do you, or I'll go to people's houses, I'll be like, hey, you pray, you know, or whatever, and they'll look at the kid and I'll be like, does he pray like that all the time? And they're like, no. But it's true, like you just automatically assume like no, like I'm just here, man. Like
I'm
whatever
just
you do,
just let me help out with a couple of things. And so, but the faux pas of like, people take your turkeys out on like Sunday.
Yeah.
Don't put it on the counter. Put it in your fridge because otherwise you're giving people some kind of food poisoning.
100%.
You don't need to be giving anybody food poisoning for Thanksgiving. They're not going to be real thankful for that. Yeah. But take it out and put it in your fridge. That's a simple thing. And then like make a timeline of like mashed potatoes. You can reheat.
Yeah.
Make them the day ahead. Make the casserole.
You don't have to have this like super stressed Thanksgiving. Whatever.
You don't like, and so even if it's just like, not consulting, but like consulting with me, like I can help you just like,
hey Kim, how can I make my Thanksgiving like fantastic?
Yeah. And use flavor. I mean, the amount of times like.
So everybody call Kim on Thanksgiving Day.
Call me.
And be like, hey, what'd I do wrong?
I will.
Actually, no, call you 2 days before Thanksgiving.
I'm not actually going to be doing any Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving.
If you're calling you though on Thanksgiving, you're too late. That's what you're saying.
Probably.
Yeah. Unless it's like 4 a.m. and we're sleeping. We're not answering phone calls.
Let's prepare some things. Like let's plan this out. We don't go into
failure to plan is to plan failure. So
exactly. And so that's my first grease. It's just like y'all get so stressed out, and it doesn't have to be stressful. Like it doesn't have to be that, unless you are somebody who like thrives on chaos.
Which there are people out there like that.
There are people like that. But like at that
Thanksgiving's
point,
not the time for that though.
Yeah. Like at that point, I just want to like sit. I want to not do like I want to play some board games. I want to participate in like the family activities and not spend the entire day cooking.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's my first.
I'll give you one.
Okay, go.
Augmented eating times.
What?
Drives me absolutely
augmented eating times.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I know what augmented.
Do I know what
like time slots?
Augmented definition. Nope, that's not right. Augmented means having been made greater in size or value. That's not what I was getting at. Adjusted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So like our family, we get together with Bethany's side of the family, and they're like, we're gonna eat at 2.
Yeah.
I'm like,
our
2
family
o'clock,
eats at 1.
2 o'clock is not a lunchtime. Why are we eating at 2? One day out of the year, you move lunch from noon to 2. Mm-hmm. And then they look at me like I'm the weirdo that's eating at noon. And they're like, why are you eating? I'm like, because I don't want to rip all of your heads off when I sit down to eat, because we got to read a whole chapter of scripture and pray together. Like, that's not that. No.
Yeah. Our family,
Bethany gets so mad at me. She's like, are you making a sandwich? I'm like, it's noon.
Yeah.
We're eating.
I do the same thing to Josh. I'm like, why are you eating right now? And he's like,
because
I'm hungry.
This is
like,
time to eat.
But there's an entire meal being prepared right now, dude. Come on.
Yeah,
like,
and she looks at me. She's like, "You gonna eat?" I'm like, 100%. I'll eat at 2. I will eat at 3. As a matter of fact, there is a great chance that I'm gonna eat at 4 and 6. Actually, I'll probably eat at 5:30 because that's when dinner is, and that's the other grease. We don't eat dinner at Thanksgiving. Like, I'm like, what
it's
are you?
Leftover time, baby.
100%. You don't even have to put the food away. Like, we'll be back here.
Oh, wait, they put the food away?
Like, it all goes in Tupperware, all that other stuff. And then every year.
What an efficient family. My family's like, oh, I'm full. Let's play Tripoli.
Who's got Yahtzee this year? Yeah.
Yep.
Like, so every single year, I I'll go into the refrigerator at 5:30 and they look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm starving. And they're like, we just ate. No, we did not. We ate at 2 and I ate not enough because I ate at noon.
But I wonder if it's because your metabolism is probably a lot faster.
I'm just so programmed to eat at specific times in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this brings me to my second grease. Everybody overeats on Thanksgiving.
They do.
And I'm like, and you want to know why?
There's so much starch.
Adjusted eating times.
Because you're hungry.
Yeah.
So hungry.
Like, who sits down at 2 o'clock and is like, hey, let's eat? And then when you put food in front of your face, what do? You're like, huh, I'm going to eat all of it.
I have learned, like, are you, okay, so when you're making your Thanksgiving plate, are you a piler? Or does everything have its place?
That's a really good question. It depends. I'm not like, have you ever been to like a church potluck and like you look over to somebody and like you just stacked food on top of food?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. Josh's dad is that.
I'll bring my own plate.
Just get a bowl. Like he does. Josh's dad, it is the most impressive thing. I told Josh one time, and his sister is going to get a kick out of this, but I'm like, he's like a Great Depression eater.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He wasn't born during the Great Depression, but like he would survive so well in the Great Depression because he like gets like a bowl of like, maybe his base is going to be cottage cheese.
Yeah.
He's going to turn this into a meal. So he's going to get like some pork rinds. He's going to get some pineapple.
He's going to
get he's going to get some like chicken that was in the back of the fridge for like 2 weeks ago.
So he went to Chipotle and thought, I could do this at home with all the foods.
With all the foods. And he does. He's like, Fruity Pebble. Like all of it goes into one bowl. And anytime that he does it, it stresses me out.
Because you're like, those are a lot of flavors in there.
Separate your foods.
Yeah.
I separate them.
Now, like on a normal like Thanksgiving plate, they're gonna like connect. Like they're gonna come together.
They are.
Unless you have like one of those
but
cool
I get
little divider
really
plates.
mad. about it. Yeah.
Do you ever take bread and just like make like little walls?
No.
Then you don't eat the bread. You just have the walls.
No, I don't have.
I can see
if
you
I
making
get any.
This is the border. This is no turkeys allowed over in mashed potato land.
if there's anything, if anything runs, I get a bowl.
Runny stuff is huge.
I get a bowl.
But I do that with dinner. I do that with anything I eat.
You get a separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if there's peaches, like I'm not putting peaches on a plate.
But
I just have
people put
meat
the peaches on the plate next to their turkey, next to their mashed potatoes, the gravy. I can't. That's my first thing. I want to know: are you a stacker, listeners?
Oh yeah.
Or are you a compartmentalized?
I've seen people too when they're stackers and they literally like eat like and they take their fork and they go in the middle so they don't touch like the thing that's underneath of it.
Oh.
And I'm like, buddy.
I'll like things can kind of touch, but I'm real.
See, but in Thanksgiving land, people have no idea like what they're supposed to eat because it's an adjusted mealtime. So they just look at it and they're like, I don't know how to eat. I've lost my train of thought.
And it's so much heavy food.
Oh, it is.
It is all food that is about to expand exponentially.
Name one time you sit down and you're like, for lunch today, I should have turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, stuffing,
corn pudding.
Yeah. And pumpkin pie on top of that. Like, there is not one meal in your life all year long where you go, yeah, I'm definitely gonna
all of this.
Yeah. What's the thing? The canned stuff. Bethany's mom loves it. Oh yeah. No, beets. Do you have beets?
What?
Yeah, Bethany's mom always has beets.
No.
And I'm like, the canned beets. I don't know. She loves them. And I'm like,
not like pickled beets, just like a can of beets.
There's stuff that makes its way to the Thanksgiving table where I think like that. What grocery store did you go to?
That's so weird.
Did you go to some like, I was going to say Oriental, but that's not true. Some like South Bend grocery store that you never frequent at all and think this should be on the Thanksgiving table.
Do people like stray?
What do you mean stray?
From like the normal, or is it normal? So, okay. So like Josh's family, again.
Go ahead.
They do. And I had never heard about this until them. And since then, I have heard about this from like other families. There's something they call a relish tray.
Oh yeah, we do relish trays. I know what that is.
It's like different pickles.
Yeah.
Different pickle things.
And cheese.
That's just a charcuterie board.
Yeah, same thing. That's what I thought when I saw charcuterie boards. So, like for the first time, I was like, that's a relish tray. You just gave it another name.
I've never heard of a relish tray.
Oh yeah,
I had never.
100%.
It threw me for a loop. So like the first one, I don't know if I was supposed to bring something or not, but somebody had said something about a relish tray. Did you put the relish tray out? And I was like, what are we talking about?
Okay, so typically on a relish tray, olives, crackers. Let's see. Celery, carrots. Usually there's some sort of peppers, black olives and green olives, by the way.
I'm not an olive fan.
Pickles.
All.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
sense. I can't believe you've never seen that.
Yeah, different than like a vegetable tray.
A vegetable tray is totally different thing.
Those are pickled vegetables.
Sure.
Yeah, they are.
I'm debating the chef right now.
So pickled vegetable tray.
I'm like, I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Versus a vegetable tray.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. They do it all the time.
I don't think that my family likes pickles though, so I'm the outlier.
Well, the worst part is with whether it's a vegetable or a relish tray, like they put it out like it's supposed to hold you off for the meal. It's like a weak appetizer.
That's why charcuterie boards have made its way in, because there's at least protein on there.
Here's what you can bring in. You can bring in some chicken wings.
You can bring in a delicious steak sandwich for me. That's what you can bring in.
Well, that's the other funny thing. Like, have you ever seen like the meat trays that they bring out? Like, so you have like bologna, or no, never bologna on it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, there's never bologna on it. Salami.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why you bring out the meat before the meat? Like, we're going to have all the meats today? I get so confused because I'm like,
just call me Arby's because I got the meats.
We got the meats. I'm like, how is this? This is not like, aren't we eating turkey? Like, okay, here's the deal. If I put those in between two crackers, I technically had a sandwich, which means I already ate. So.
What? Yeah, I don't know. How does it?
It's so wild. It's the Wild West.
Everybody's Thanksgivings look different. And I'm like, who did this come from? Who did this originate from? Like, are you guys a macaroni and cheese family?
Kareen loves macaroni and cheese. My oldest.
For Thanksgiving?
Anytime. Kareen will eat mac and cheese. Like if you were to walk up to her right now and be like, Kareen, what do you want for dinner? She'd be like, mac and cheese.
But hasn't made it to Thanksgiving.
She will probably eat mac and cheese for the dinner part. Like, so she probably wouldn't go back for the leftovers. She would just make herself macaroni and cheese.
What?
Yeah.
You guys eat something different.
Oh, Kareen would. Yeah, 100% all day long. Oh. She wouldn't even think about it. She is so much of a person that like looks at you like you're the idiot. Like she operates her life where I'm like, I wish I felt that way about things. It's kind of like rollerblading as a 40-year-old.
I've seen that look from Green.
Yeah, she's like, why is that dumb? And I'm like, I don't have time to unpack that because you wouldn't even believe me if I told you.
Huh? Yeah, we're not a macaroni family.
Oh,
but
do you like mac and cheese though?
I'm not a cheese person.
Bethany's not either.
So I don't. My timbers don't get shivered by mac and cheese.
Timbers don't get shivered. The best part with the relish tray or the vegetable tray is when there's like giant ranch dressing just sitting there and it's communal and you're like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of relish trays until.
I do that every year, by the way. Like, so I put ranch dressing on everything.
I put it on everything. So I've seen you with a bottle, and I'm like, Jordan,
I'm on the sauce.
You're pretty healthy in all aspects, but then like
the ranch dressing comes around, I'm like, hello, hello.
I'm not a ranch person.
Well, so like every year, Bethany's mom fails to put it on the table, so I go get it. Like I get. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like. So I don't know where this happened either because they take offense to it, like because they made this turkey and they spent like a lot of time on it, and I'm gonna douse it with ranch dressing, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Ranch dressing doesn't even go with the flavors on a turkey.
I put ranch dressing on pizza.
Oh well, yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I had a friend who that was her go.
So and French dressing on pizza is fantastic.
Shut up.
We've had this conversation.
No, we have
yes,
not.
We have. Long time ago at the Bean.
Remember French dressing on pizza?
So
did I have the same reaction?
If you are ever in Canton, Illinois, look up a place called Monocle's Pizza. Monocle's Pizza, I know you don't like pizza, has French dressing on their tables. This is where I learned about it. And so I was like, what is this? And my friend Aaron lived in Canton, and that's like kind of where. Anyway, it's irrelevant. So he's like, try it, man. And I'm like, all right. So I tried it and cannot go back. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm staring at Jordan with just like utter disgust. Utter disgust.
First of all, how dare you?
But there's so many things that like I eat too that like Josh is
that's
like,
true.
Are you okay?
Yeah, like you look over like you're not pregnant, are you? Like
I have like 3 things.
If you're ever sitting with a full relish tray, just going to town on it, you might be pregnant. Like I'm loving these olives.
Yeah, I'm not I didn't know about relish trays.
Yeah, so this could categorize as a grease, but like both like they don't now I guess so much anymore, but I mean look of death, like of why would you put ranch dressing on a turkey that we spent hours doing? And I'm like, you're gonna be okay. Kareen on the other hand's got like a box of mac and cheese in her back pocket, like just wait for a couple hours, just wait for the right time to just dump it in there.
Yeah, but yes, people do like super overeat.
Oh yeah, give me another one. Give me another one of your grease.
Oh, I had one in my head. I can't remember it. You go, because I got too distracted.
Somebody's always mad. Like always.
Yes.
So somebody is like, it's what happens when you pull people together.
It's true.
Like, and here's the other thing. Like people always feel obligated to do something for somebody else at Thanksgiving when they don't do it all year long.
Yeah.
I think with all of my heart, like I'm in full-time ministry in regards to like church ministry and stuff like that. If you are just a naturally like giving person, thankful person, whatever the case is, like cool, be that. One day a year though, people get like really convicted that they should go like save the world from world hunger.
There's like a time frame between Thanksgiving and Christmas where everybody is like, we need to go to the soup kitchen.
I'm like, can you do that all year long?
They're there
like
all the time.
All the time.
People
like,
are not just hungry these months.
If I worked at a soup kitchen or something like that, I mean, I would welcome the help. I'd be really excited about it. But at the same time, I'd be like, hey guys, January through October is also prime real estate.
Yes.
Like, so it's comical to me sometimes when people are like, we're going to go serve this year. As opposed to what? Not doing that all year long?
Why aren't you serving any other year?
Or they're like, hey, this is the time of year that we have set aside to be with family.
Yeah.
And like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. And here's the other thing, like, people will guilt people into coming over, like, hey, you don't have anybody to celebrate Thanksgiving with. Why don't you come over? What?
Some people like that.
Oh, okay,
but
yes.
You would feel like such a jerk if you said
if you're
no.
not if I find out that you don't have anywhere to celebrate Thanksgiving,
yeah,
by all means come over. Like I'm not against that, but please, like, hear me in this. Don't let it be the one time a year that you do that for somebody.
Invite them another time.
Hey, Gary.
It's our annual meetup.
I know you're lonely this time
of
year.
Have you heard of the different stories? So there was a story about a kid, and somehow, like, he texted his phone number, or like this other person's phone number, somebody's phone number got mixed, and this one lady started texting this like teenage kid.
Okay.
And he ended up like not having a place to go for Thanksgiving. And so he has been like adopted into their family just because of this like one thing. Like,
that's
they took
crazy.
Thanksgiving and like extended it to like, you are a part of our family.
Yeah.
He comes to like regular
that's cool.
family events like for 4th of July. Like,
but there it is, right?
Yeah.
So regular events, like, that's the thing that drives me nuts is when you have Thanksgiving compassion and you have no other compassion, like, how dare you? Like, don't reach across the table and go, oh, Gary, you don't have anywhere to go, huh? He also doesn't have anywhere to go on Fridays.
Yeah. That's
like,
so true.
What in the world?
True. It is. It's when people like, the amount of people who I have heard who are like, we're going to serve. And I'm like, go.
Do it all the time. And hey, if that's your gift, if that is your bent, and you feel led to go serve, like, and you do it all the time, like, by all means, like, go for it. Like, don't hear me like, don't serve on Thanksgiving. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying is, because you are convicted, like, don't let that conviction be like, oh,
yeah.
And then somebody's gonna look at me like, well, that could be the catalyst for multiple months of service. You did this for the past 15 years. You do this every year.
Just between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
If you want to give and be like a giver, do it like in February when it's freezing cold out.
Yeah.
And you got to go outside and bundle up.
When you are uncomfortable. Do it when you are uncomfortable.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. Do it when you're uncomfortable.
Well, and so that's the same thing with family. Like, like the family thinks, we're going to invite all the family together. When do you do that? Like, when do you bring all of these crazy individuals together and you think you're all going to get along?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
No, thank you.
Now, if you live in all, like Thanksgiving's like the time where it's like, hey, everybody comes in from, Denver
California,
to Dover.
What? Yeah.
Cool. Like, by all means,
fun.
When you all live close and you're like, oh, every year for Thanksgiving we get together and Barry tries to kill Dan. Like, yeah, he does, because they hate each other.
So I have a friend who they get together.
You're getting me all riled up.
I have a friend who they get together every year, but one person in their family is getting ready to get married.
Oh, boy.
And so, like, wedding planning has
started. Boy.
And so she texted me the other day, and she's like, we're going to start a bingo card. And we're going to, her and her husband.
100%.
Because that's the kind of person that I'm going to be. Like, if I know that my family does not get along, I'm
$100 gift card for the person that gets a bingo.
There's going to be a bingo card between my siblings and I. Like, that's the kind of kid
that's so fantastic.
It's like, I'm going to just sit back. I might stir the pot a little bit just to see what happens.
2 classes ago, a student had a bingo card for me as a professor. I thought it was great.
What were the...
there was so many things on it. I was cracking up. I was like, for real? They had like sayings and all this other stuff. Like, Prof Mo's going to wear black, like stuff like that. I'm like, who won this thing? Because I get a cut. Like, that's how this works.
Yeah.
Like, I love the graceful side of things. Like, I love family coming together. Like, I think it's great. I don't see our family like a whole lot, so it is like such a thing. But if you don't get along with your family, like,
maybe
then
try
go
to
serve
go
at
to
a soup kitchen.
Together. Go serve at a soup kitchen. shit together and then see the real problems.
Oh my goodness, like more family fights come from that.
Well, and Thanksgiving comes right after election season. So like I can only imagine, especially
this year.
Yeah, like I can only imagine.
Karen shows up with the Kamala shirt on and like Barry shows up with his Donald shirt on. And it's like, get out of my house.
Yeah. So like that's also why you guys gotta just
pump the brakes.
It's one day. Just try really hard to get along for one day. And I know there's so much that goes into it. There's so much drama.
I wish that families though would come together who actually do get along. Like, so this is kind of moving into graceful things, but like Thanksgiving reminds me of like, you know, because how many families get done with Thanksgiving and go like, we should do this more often.
Yeah.
It is like this really like joyful thing and like they're having a good time. And then you hear those words and it's like, you know, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like you could totally plan these things. Like 4th of July, whatever the case is, like, hey, every major holiday we're going to get together. Cool. Like that's fantastic. It's almost heartbreaking sometimes to hear people be like, we should do this more often.
Yeah. And especially because like I grew up with a very close family. And so we get together once a month for the most part, more so in the summer than we do in the winter time, but we all get together. So everybody is together. So Thanksgiving isn't necessarily anything different. We're just cooking, you know.
Sure.
But like,
you're adjusting meal times.
The difference for me, you're adjusting meal times. The difference for me is that everybody is there and there's nothing else to do. So when we have like our other family event things, not events, but I mean like our
gatherings,
family days.
Yeah.
Normally it's like, well, this person has to work, this person has this, you know, and all of that. For Thanksgiving, it's one of those where like everybody is just there. We're just there.
Yeah.
The end.
You're just being with people.
Yeah. And so my sibling Caleb and Keaton and I, we all get along phenomenally. And then like our extension, so like Josh,
the cousins are there.
Nope. But
your older brother has kids.
My older brother has kids.
Yeah.
And then my younger brother, no, I don't have an older brother now that I said that.
No.
My middle brother
yeah.
has kids. My youngest brother, he's going to be married and soon. And so like we all.
What I mean by cousin is your kids and his
along.
kids. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And so our kids get along with his kids. And so we all like see each other, but it's nice because we don't have anything else to do. So it's a little bit more of a relaxed time. It's a lot more like laughter and fun.
Yeah.
And then our family gatherings, just because family gatherings are like placed in the middle of a day. We have our jobs the next day, you know, and you still kind of have that. But for the most part, Thanksgiving, if you are working on Black Friday, what are you doing?
Which people do that.
I know people do, but like none of my family has ever really done any work on Black
Well, I know
Friday.
a lot of first responders work on on holidays because they get like time and a half.
Yes.
So like that's like a massively requested day.
Yeah. And so Keaton is a first responder, and so like but I don't know if he's working on Thanksgiving. He might be working on Thanksgiving. But anyways, it's just nice because like there's a different mood of the day. We can just sit back and like together.
Super cool.
Yeah, so it's a really good time. One of my I mean, we are kind of in graces now.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm trying to think of a grace. Because mine, now that I say that, I'm like, I said at the beginning of this episode that I would have a lot of
you don't.
graces.
You're like, man, let's just stay on the graces.
Because I'm like Black Friday. There's so much that goes into.
But Black Friday is really not Thanksgiving.
Consumerism, but it is.
It
dude.
is.
People go out.
See,
on Thanksgiving Day.
They still do that?
Yes. Absolutely. I think stores are starting to like be like, this is a problem.
See, I think Cyber Monday is busier than Black Friday.
Well, yes, but people still go out. Like stores open on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which super.
Our family used to do that, and now they don't. Like they used to like go out and like.
I go out to People Watch.
Yeah, like there's a little of that happening for sure. I don't know. Like I just don't feel like it's as populated as it was in the past. Maybe I could be wrong, but we don't live in like commerce. So like we don't live in like.
Yeah.
Like now everybody just gets whatever they want. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like a huge deal or whatever.
Graceful aspects. I love that, for at least for my family. I know it's not like this for every family, but that is the start of like the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And it is like, I love winter.
Yep.
And so like Thanksgiving is like the kickoff for me.
Yep.
And so like I'm ready to go at this time. I'm like, yes, this is my season. This is my holiday. Yes. I get so pumped up. I love winter with everything in me.
I can't relate.
I know you can't relate.
I have
I know
like.
I know your wife.
82 degrees and sunny outside are my best friends.
I don't like when it's gray. Like today when we're doing this, it's gray.
It is.
But I mean, like, give me snow.
Snow's different though. Like snow. So when I was out in Colorado earlier this year, I realized their winters and our winters are a totally different story.
Our winters used to be like that though.
Yeah, but I mean, oh man, like their winter, I could get down with their winter. Like the sun is out, like snow on the ground. It's
that's the kind of winter that I love. Yes, Indiana winter has turned into like depressed city, but that's what I think of when I think of winter. Like Colorado, when it's like there's snow all over the place, and I love when it is sunny and there's snow. Josh is always like, you have so much energy on those days. And I'm like, because there's so much sun and it's reflecting off of the snow, and the snow is so pretty. Like I get
it's bright out again.
Hyped. Yeah. Like, I love winter. I love being cold outside.
Good for you.
I do. But it's like the kickoff for me for like all things holiday.
Yeah, it is. Like it is true. Like it's the holiday season. Is really
holiday
like
season.
And Halloween, you're not a part of that. Like you're a broken toy. Go back. Go back to the island.
When do you guys put up your tree?
So this year's a little different because I actually love this year because everything falls as it should. So if you're not in church world, like you probably have no idea what that means. But December 1st is actually, I'm pulling up my calendar here, Sunday. So
okay.
the Advent season, 24 days. So it actually starts on a Sunday.
Nice.
So for me, like I look at that church calendar wise, and I'm like, as it should be.
Yeah.
People look at that and they go, Christmas is all over the place this year because Thanksgiving then is what?
Thanksgiving is on a Thursday.
Is the 28th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what that does is that kind of like jacks with like people's like schedules because you used to get your tree the week before. And now, like, if you get your tree, then it's really going to only be up for like 2-3 weeks or whatever the case is. So we're actually going to go next Saturday. Well, depending on when you're listening to this, and get our tree, and we'll put it up before Thanksgiving happens.
Will you?
Which is cool. Like, I'm good with that.
We have to get a tree this year.
Do you get a real tree or a fake tree? We're moving into Christmas. We got to be careful with this.
I know. I'm allergic to live trees.
Oh, I love live trees.
We tried it.
Tried it, failed.
We tried it, and
there were so many adjusted meal times.
So I sneezed so.
So is it like immediate? Like we got to get rid of this thing?
It was like this is the last time we are doing this in our house. It was
bad.
So bad. I have never. I'm not like somebody who has like a lot of allergies, but like so we're a fake tree, but we just got new tree.
Okay, so to land the plane, my grace for Thanksgiving is like. I love family being around. It's just such a different feel. Like it is the day where it's just chill. It's so chill.
If
like,
your family gets along.
If your family gets along. Even if your family, but you know, the thing about it is like the older you get, the more like, the less you care. Yeah. Like you watch people like kind of like fighting with each other or whatever. I'm like, yeah. Have fun, cats. Yeah. Like go fight in an alley or something. I'm good. I'm not a football person. Like I don't care about that. But my brother-in-law is, so he always has it going, and like he always talks to me about football and whatnot. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but neat. Yes. It's like, hey man, you got $6.2 million this year. I'm like, that's crazy.
Pigskin, am I right?
Good for you. I'm like, when do we reheat this turkey?
Why don't we eat at noon?
Yeah, 100%. We always go to so like our family's always has like some sort of ties with like the school that we spend at. So we go to like the gym. We let the cousins rip around. We usually play kickball with them. Like it's just so fun. Like it's so like laid back. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. We had this, so our Thanksgivings have been weird a little bit since my grandma passed away, because my grandma was always the one who like
there's always the glue that goes
everybody to like play the games, and it was always natural. And I love you very much, Mom. You are not much of a starter.
She listens too, so you got to be really
does.
careful.
But and I think that she knows this. She's not much of a starter of like. If you're watching TV, like she'll just let you watch TV.
Yeah, she's not gonna like interrupt your flow.
I will move you out of your seat to the table. And I'm like, we are playing
a game.
We're playing Uno. Come on. Come out. And so like, I have decided, I told my brothers like 2 years ago, maybe, I was like, I am now Becky. I am Rebecca. And so at holidays now, like I bring the games and I'm like, so what are we going to be playing? And like, I make sure like we have games that don't require literally anything.
Right.
We have games that require like pen, paper. Our family plays a lot of dice games.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys play games like in the week though as a family?
So not together, no. But like if we were to go over to like my parents' house, they normally have aggravation.
You play cards?
So, no.
Do you know how to play cards?
No.
Like rummy, euchre, anything like that?
I have desperately tried to learn euchre.
Oh, we could teach you.
You could teach me, but so the last time that we were all together, my brother, my dad, and I think my grandpa all trying to teach us euchre. I kind of learned it.
The secret to learning euchre is playing so many like open hands where you see like all the cards and how they fit.
See, that's so above me. I finally somebody at our church like explained it to me, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. But now nobody wants to be my partner because you'll make
mess
mistakes.
it up. Yeah.
Like the last time I played with my brother, Caleb was like, Kim, you just
we lost 10-0. Like, how does that even happen?
I was so excited because like I'm like, oh, I got it. And if you don't know what euchre is, it is very much like it's a northern game. It's not something that people know how to play in the South.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so so every single year I feel like I'm like, can somebody teach me euchre?
Yeah.
Every year.
Bethany's a fantastic euchre teacher. Like she's really, really good
I
at
want
like
so badly to just be able to play euchre. So
we play every night as a family.
Yeah, I know you guys have like a whole scoreboard.
Yeah.
So we're a dice game,
which is cool.
We play a game called You Blew It. There's so many different dice games that we play.
Yeah.
Not so many card games.
But at least that's your thing, right?
Yeah, and so yeah, I've turned into Becky, and I am the
what up,
corraller. And if you are like watching television or you are in a different room, I will physically put myself into your position and move your body to where it needs to go. Because I'm like, we're playing a game. I'm so intrusive.
That's nothing wrong with that.
I'm like, we're having family time.
We're having fun.
Come and hang out with us. It's a good time.
My stepmom was like that. She'd always be like, are you having a good time? I'm like, are you asking me or are you telling me? Because I'm pretty sure you're telling me that I'm having a good time.
We always have a good time, but it's just like getting people like up and away from whatever it is that has their distraction. And anymore, I'm like, put your phone down.
Oh, yeah.
No phones at the table while we're playing games because this is like our family time. Like, we don't get many opportunities to just like chill. Like you said, like you don't get many opportunities to just everybody. It's the same level of just.
Yeah. My stepmom, we would go to like theme parks or whatever, and she'd like walk you up to like the roller coaster and she'd be like, it's fine, everything's good, like you're gonna be fine, like this is so fun, whatever the case is. As soon as they put that strap on you, she'd be like, this thing's gonna break, we're all gonna die. Like it was just and you'd look at her like, hilarious. What? She's like, we're all dead, like, and you're like, what? And then it just takes off and you're like, I'm dying.
That's hilarious.
So I do it with the girls all the time. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's fine. You'll be fine. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. We should have not have done that.
I don't know if I'm there yet with the kids. I'm still like, roller coasters are fun. Roller coasters are fun. Roller coasters are fun, guys. Like,
and they're like, I don't know about that.
My Owen, he's a little more apprehensive. He's like dumb, but like he's also a little like, is this safe, guys?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Anyways,
anything you want to hear? Like,
I want to know, like,
what's the thing?
What's your Thanksgiving plate look like?
Oh, yeah. What's on the plate?
Yeah, tell me what your family brings. If you guys have any questions about Thanksgiving,
you need to call right now. Like,
you can reach out. You can email greaseandgracepod@gmail.com. Like, email me. I'm happy to answer questions.
I need you to do it right now, though, because if you're on Thanksgiving Day, like, this is not going to be good for you.
Don't email me on Thanksgiving Day.
100%.
Because I'm going to be playing games and relaxing because I successfully managed to get all of this food ready to go at 100%. The same time without freaking out. So, but
I like the plate. The plate thing's a good idea.
Yeah, let me know the plate. Let me know do you guys
get along with family or not?
Yeah. Don't tell me your family stories. I don't want to know that.
Do you feel convicted to serve at a food kitchen?
Or do you now feel bad because you've only served at a soup kitchen?
Like, I didn't until you guys brought it up, and now we're not having Thanksgiving because we're going there. Seriously, like, I know it sounds so weird, but like, from my point of view, like, as you and I both serve at church, right? And this happens all the time. Like, people will be like, this is the season of conviction or whatever the case is. And so all of a sudden, like, I tell people, I'm like, hey, February, March, like, if you feel that way, like, schedule this consistently instead of just like being this one-time shot.
Schedule it when you feel convicted.
Yeah.
Like, plan it out and just like call up that soup kitchen and say, hey, I'm going to schedule this. This is the days that I'm going to come in, and then just have it on your calendar. Yeah. And then don't cancel. Yeah.
Be consistent with that. Like, and again, like, it's just, I could belabor the point, but at the same time, it's like, when you serve when it hurts is like a totally different ball game. So it's like, hey, it's cold outside and there's snow and it's February, like, and you're bundling up to go like help people out. Like, that's good. Yeah. Like, that's fantastic. Or even when it's nice out and it's the middle of the summer and you're helping somebody out, like, that's good too, you know? But like, don't use the seasons as like this catalyst for conviction where you're like wanting to feel better about yourself. That's not good service. You're doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's a selfish reason.
So anyway,
any hoozle, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey,
enjoy the day.
And we're so thankful that you listen.
We are thankful.
Like, that's fantastic.
I'm thankful for my friend across the table.
Same.
It's a good thing. In fact, our friendship at this point, I'm pretty sure your wife is like, I'm going to murder you too.
The best part was when, like, the other day, Josh looks at me and he's like, you talk to her more than I do. And I was like, well, first of all, that's not good. I was like, because I only talk to her for an hour a week. And if you're not talking to her for, like, if you're talking to her less than I am, like, we could do marriage counseling, I guess. Like, I don't know. But, we are thankful for you guys. So we love hearing from you. So stories, questions, suggestions for future topics, we take those. Drop us a line, greaseandgracepod@gmail.com. You can rate, comment, subscribe, share it as a Thanksgiving present with your friends and family this year.
Do that.
Yeah, this is the best gift that you can share, is a gift of laughter and joy, especially in the holiday season.
No, it is.
So reach out to us. Let us know. Hit us up, greaseandgracepod@gmail.com.
Listen to us while you're preparing your food.
There you go. Hey,
if you're hanging out in the kitchen.
If Uncle Barry's driving you nuts, put in Grease and Grace Pod and just start
get
laughing.
Lost. Get lost in the ranch sauce, just like Jordan is gonna be.
Jump into a puddle of ranch. It will be fantastic. I promise. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Happy Thanksgiving.